This is Valley News Live at 4.
Good afternoon, everyone. We begin with information that's new at 4. Lawyers are getting ready to make their arguments in a murder case that drew national attention. The lawyer for 41-year-old Shannon Brandt, the man accused of hitting and killing a teen with his SUV after a street dance in central North Dakota, is outlining his plans for a preliminary hearing in Foster County District Court next week. Mark Freese with Vogel Law Firm in Fargo says he's filling a request to revisit Brandt's bail and argues there may not be enough evidence for intentional homicide. If the judge finds there's not probable cause, Brandt would be released. Brandt is accused of killing 18-year-old Kayler Ellingson on September 18th in McHenry, North Dakota. Court documents say Brandt called 911 and said he hit Ellingson because he was being threatened. Brandt also admitted to drinking before the incident. The state filed criminal charges against Brandt, including murder and duty and accident involving death or injury. Family have identified the 2 people who died in a house fire in Lisbon earlier this month. They say John and Courtney Person died in their Lisbon home after the fire on November 18th. Firefighters arrived to heavy smoke and fire, and the 2 victims were found. The home is a total loss, and the cause is under investigation. A GoFundMe has been set up by family to support the couple's daughter. The Twin Cities and parts of southern Minnesota are dealing with several inches of snow after a storm rolled through yesterday. Between 6 a.m. and 9 p.m., Minnesota State Patrol reports more than 380 crashes. 285 vehicle spinouts and 33 jackknife semis were also reported. More than 30 people were hurt in those crashes. Thankfully, no reports of serious injuries or fatalities. The National Weather Service says snow totals range from 5 to 9 inches. For a look at what's happening closer to home now, let's check in with Jim Gash. Jim?
Hey, Stacy. Well, right now we're taking a look here in Fargo where we have some mostly cloudy skies if you're facing east, but off to the west we have some clear skies. So if you're headed home facing west, make sure you have those sunglasses at the ready, because that sun will be in your eyes. Now, we do have that first alert weather day on Friday as that system's moving in and bringing with that snow. Decent shot of wind as well. So we'll see some widespread accumulation starting Friday morning into Friday evening. So it's kind of an all-day event kind of thing. And then those gusty winds of gusting up to 40 miles per hour out of the north-northwest, bringing with it some chilly temperatures. So those roads will definitely be slick as we move on throughout the day. And on Saturday, those wind chills could become dangerous. Look at that, negative 20-degree wind chills expected on Saturday morning. So definitely watch out for that. And the parade on Saturday evening, we'll see some temperatures near 5 to 10 degrees and those wind chills a good 10 degrees colder than that. So here is what the snow is looking like. A pretty widespread area of 2 to 5 inches where you see these darker blue colors, and elsewhere we'll still see a couple inches to the north and south. We're going to see that cold air continue to move into the area as we are on the back end of this low pressure system. That'll bring these temperatures pretty chilly, and those winds are definitely bringing in those colder air. So Stacy, I'll have more information about how cold it will get, plus a look at that timing for that snow system coming in just a few minutes.
All right, Jim, thanks so much. Meanwhile, a string of deadly storms ripped through the south overnight, tearing apart communities in 3 different states. As Jay Gray reports, forecasters warn even more severe weather could be on the way.
Violent storms wrecking the south overnight. A string of tornadoes, straight-line winds, rain and hail ripping through Louisiana, Mississippi, and Alabama. Some areas leveled in just seconds.
I made it into what I call a safe room, and by the time I got there, it was over. It might have lasted maybe 15 seconds.
Daylight reveals damage that stretches for miles. Communities chewed up and spit out by as many as 30 twisters across the region. The most severe loss in Flatwood, Alabama. A mother and child killed, the father of the family severely injured when this massive tree, pushed over by the wind, crushed their mobile home.
Before they could even get the warning, the tornado was up upon them, and so we're praying for the family, and we want to just let the family members know that we're supporting them and whatever they need.
The need will be great across the strike zone, where conditions remain favorable for storms over the next 24 hours.
In Memphis, police and crews were busy all night. Intense rain caused enough accidents to litter highways and streets. Several of those crashes caused by slick roads and hydroplaning. A woman is behind bars after a traffic stop in central Minnesota turned up drugs. Cass County Sheriff Tom Birch says deputies conducted a traffic stop in rural Bacchus, Minnesota. A canine was used during the investigation and approximately 50 grams of meth was found. The driver, Terry Foster of Bacchus, was arrested on charges relating to drug possession and driving under the influence. Formal charges against Foster are pending. Nurses in Minnesota are voting today on whether or not to go on strike, protesting what they say are unfair labor practices. The vote would affect 16 hospitals in the Twin Cities, Twin Ports, and 2 harbors on the north shore of Lake Superior. They say hospital CEOs refuse to settle contracts with 15,000 nurses who say they're fighting to put patients before profits.
This fight is as much for you and your loved ones and your livelihoods as it is for us and our families and our loved ones and livelihoods. That we are doing this so that when you come to a Minnesota hospital, you can expect the quality care that used to exist.
Stick with Valley News Live throughout the evening for the latest on this vote. Meanwhile, with a potential rail strike looming, today the U.S. voted to adopt a tentative agreement, which the Biden administration helped broker back in September, and also passed an amendment adding 7 days of paid sick leave to the deal.
This last-second desperate move to add paid sick leave is it's unprecedented congressional intervention.
Nobody got everything they wanted in this tentative agreement, but all of the parties had to move to get there.
Last week, workers in 4 of the 12 unions involved voted against the contract. That includes a 24% raise over 5 years. A strike could start next Friday and would cost the U.S. economy at least $2 billion a day, with a number of potential supply chain disruptions. Happening now, memorial services are underway for 4 children who were killed in a fire in Mason City, Iowa 2 weeks ago. Another child and their father were hurt but survived. The Mason City Fire Department says the fire started as a result of a power strip that was overloaded in the living room. A GoFundMe has also been set up to help pay for their funerals. The community is joining together in a big way to support a Fargo teenager diagnosed with heart failure. 16-year-old Reese Scufa thought he was having flu symptoms, but doctors discovered he had an enlarged heart, causing issues with his organs and an associated blood clot in his heart. He's now at Minneapolis Children's Hospital on the transplant list. An online fundraiser through Lend a Hand Up has already raised more than $20,000 to offset medical, travel, and lodging expenses. If you'd like to help, we have a link at valleynewslive.com. Fleetwood Mac's Christine McVie family says she passed away peacefully in the company of her family at a hospital after a brief illness. The singer-songwriter was behind some of Fleetwood Mac's biggest hits. The band issued a statement saying she was the best musician anyone could have in their band and the best friend anyone could have in their life. She was 79 years old. Students at the University of North Dakota are going to have a new convenient option to curb their hunger come next semester. UND is rolling out a posse of food delivery robots. Officials say they've been looking at the idea of campus food delivery for years, and the demand is definitely there. The university is working with KiwiBot to bring 15 to 20 of these self-propelled units to campus. Their compact carts weigh about 40 pounds. They navigate using GPS technology. They have 4-wheel drive, and the rear set of wheels can be swapped out for larger snow tires. They'll primarily run on sidewalks, topping out at about 4 miles per hour. The Rovers will be the first to roam any campus in North Dakota. West Fargo's annual Light Up the Night event is taking place tomorrow evening. Commission President Bernie Dardis will light the holiday tree. There will also be local high school carolers, a holiday craft, as well as free hot cocoa and apple cider. The Golden Drive Homeless Kids organization will be collecting hats, mittens, and sock donations at the event. New downtown holiday decor will also be unveiled until December 15th. Residents can submit photos on Instagram with that decor for a chance to win a gift package from local businesses. The West Fargo Public Library also hosting its 14th annual Mitten Tree Drive. That's to collect winter gear for West Fargo children. From tomorrow through January 6th, donors can drop off new or like new child-sized mittens, gloves, sweatpants, boots, underwear, or coats at the library. Handmade mittens and gloves are also welcome. The items will be donated to West Fargo Public Schools for students in need. Coming up on your News at 4, tips straight from the tree farm. How you can save some green when picking out your Christmas tree.
Temperatures across the area are very chilly, seeing folks out in the north in those single digits, and those wind chills are much worse. Thief River Falls sitting there at -10. And here in Fargo, we're going to see those temperatures dip pretty well after the sun sets, and I'll have details about how cold we'll get, plus that snow system, coming up next.